Hi everyone, it's Homie from Dota Coach. Today I've got a really interesting game for you, played between the Chinese team Mineski and Fnatic. I find this game interesting because we see a lot of well-coordinated team plays, as well as some 7.07 shenaniganry. EternalEnvy and A-Bet show us how we can come back in a game where we are behind, but the carries have decent farm. So let's take a look at the drafting phase. Fnatic opens up with Ogre, and Mineski respond with Clock and Silencer. Clock picks generally indicate an aggressive lineup, which is confirmed when they follow up with Mirana and Tiny. By the way, notice the synergy in Mineski's picks here, which you can use in your pub games. Clockwork and Mirana do well together because cogs are a great way for Mirana to land an easy arrow. So what about Fnatic? They on the other hand come up with a very nice response to the Clock by picking Tusk and Disruptor. These two heroes do very well against Clock because Tusk can use Snowball to escape his cogs and Disruptor can simply drop a static storm on top of the cogs. My favorite pick by Fnatic's captain EternalEnvy is the last pick though. He goes for the Lifestealer. Honestly, it's a mystery to me how Mineski allowed that pick to happen, as Lifestealer fits very well in this game. Since Lifestealer likes to go for Armlet, he generally has high health and will do well against magic damage. And Mineski don't really have reliable CC that will go through magic immunity from his rage. As the game starts, we see Silencer, Clock and PA for an aggressive tree lane against Disruptor and Eggs. Now, valid question here would be, where the fuck's Ogre? Well, Ogre is helping Queen of Pain in the mid lane, giving Mirana a hard time. Bot lane is a very chill lane right now. Ohio being up against Ice Ice Ice. Get it? He's playing against Ice Ice Ice. It's a chill lane. Okay, I'm sorry. Check out the way Ice 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 starts with Tiny here. He starts with Tiny's new ability called Tree Grab, which, even though it only has 2 charges, is great for denying and last hitting as it gives you a ton of range and damage and can even be spammed in spite of Tiny's small mana pool. Also, check this out. He starts with Opal Venom and skips the Stout Shield entirely. I mean, other than the fact that Tiny is literally a rock, you would think he would have a hard time in a lane with 0 armor and no Stout Shield. Well, see for yourself. He actually forces Tusk out of the lane using only auto attacks and the slow from Opal Venom, and of course, by throwing 3s after him. Also, shoutouts go to Ice 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 for actually having the Elemental Ice set, but oh my god, just look at this hero. This is definitely gonna give me a nightmare. Well, it will give Ohio nightmares, because shortly after, he feeds first blood to Tiny by being blatantly out of position in the Radiant jungle. Anyway, Fnatic lose their bottom lane pretty badly, but on the other hand, their important heroes, Lifestealer and Quap, are both doing great in terms of farm. In fact, take a look at Envy. He must have not missed a single CS in this game. And look at this. Mushi makes a stupid play by using Blink Strike on Disruptor. I mean, come on, what was he even thinking there? Look at Envy when they go on PA. He stops hitting PA to get a last hit. Talk about efficiency, am I right? He even uses his ult here at the end to have an excuse to get another CS while killing PA. Shortly after this, we have an interesting situation coming up. After Clock manages to sneak a ward behind Dire's bottom tower, Paradise walks there even though he correctly circled them on the map and feeds a kill. Tiny, Clock and PA are now hunting for kills in the bottom lane. Tiny's looking for a good toss, but doesn't quite get it until now. Tiny was looking to stun Ohio here to toss him back to PA, but Ohio with an amazing reaction dodges the Tiny stun. This is where I want to hit you guys with a little quiz. What should Tusk do in this situation? Pause the video if you like and try to find out exactly what he should do here. Alright, what do you think? Looking at this situation, I think it's easy to think that Tiny is out of position and that we can try to kill him, but that's just not true. So, if you guess that he should get the fuck out of there, then you're right. He really doesn't want to get tossed to PA, as this would certainly be his death. So how can he get out of there? In my opinion, the best way to do this would be to let go of the snowball immediately so that Tiny can't run back to increase the distance between the tower and himself, then immediately turn around and run back while Tiny is stunned. This is unfortunately not what he does here. He correctly goes for the roll immediately, but he tries to go for a Valorous Punch on Tiny, which is a fatal mistake, since Toss's cast time is way shorter than Valorous Punch's animation. He gets tossed back and of course Tiny throws his tree at him, turning him into Valorous Soup or something. They wanna go on Ogre next, but see how they're kind of hesitant? That's because they know Quap has a TP, and if they dive, it might end badly. Quap does TP, but Mirana interrupts it, and now they're going in immediately for another kill. And just to get something out of this mess of a situation, DJ and Abed go on Mirana, and I want to pause here again for another quick quiz. If you're the Mirana, how do you escape this gank without dying? Pause the video if you like. Okay, what's the play here? It's clear that you want to wait with your leap before Disruptor uses Glimpse, since your only goal is to not get caught in kinetic field. You also have stick charges you want to use if needed, as well as Bottle and a Salve. So let's see what our little friend Moon does here. And that's perfect execution. He had to do it all right in order not to die, and he made it out alive. Even forgetting to use stick would have killed him there. So after Tuskar dies again on bottom lane, Radiant try to push the tier 1 tower, and Dire responds with a nice, well-coordinated play. EternalEnvy TPs in first, right after Abed. Clock tries to block Envy with Cogs, but he correctly uses Rage in time so that he won't get pushed back. They immediately go on Mushi, who for some reason doesn't even try to use Phantom Strike, and then immediately go on Tiny, who with the help of Glimpse is also killed easily. Notice how in this fight, DJ was very patient with using Glimpse and doesn't just use it immediately in order to ensure the kill on Tiny. After this fight, Radiant pushes top and Fnatic decide they want to trade the towers. Mineski then try to surprise them with a Moonlight Shadow gank, but luckily DJ is very observant and notices the blink strike for a split second, which allows Fnatic to retreat in time. Mineski are still able to catch Quap, who almost made it out alive, but fortunately, Jabs lands a rocket for the kill. After this, both teams take some time off to farm. I want to point out Abed's farming style on the Quap here sitting on top of the gold charts. He regularly farms the jungle and does so by pulling together 2 camps and using Scream to hit them both. He also invests quite some money in mana potions to be able to do so, which is now good because neutrals won't cancel your mana potions anymore. Dire is now using smoke and looking for a gank. Unfortunately, they only find Silencer in the mid lane and kind of waste the smoke because Silencer would be an easy kill anyway. As Fnatic is looking for more kills in Mineski's jungle, Mineski hit them with a scan and immediately used Moonlight Shadow. However, they are baited by the Disruptor, and even though they kill him, they are now in a very disadvantageous position because Tusk is able to block their path with Ice Shard. Fnatic don't rush in however, instead they wait for a more valuable target. When they find Tiny, he's easily focused down. I like this a lot because instead of mindlessly attacking whoever is in their path, which let's be honest happens a lot in pub games, they wait for a more valuable target. After Mineski's middleman is dead, they just kind of start messing up everything. Moon promptly goes in when he could have waited for Mushi, who was about 5 seconds away. And as a sequel, Mushi plays way too cowardly here and doesn't even throw a dagger to secure the kill on Tusk. Remember that Mineski aren't a bunch of idiots playing Dota though. The credit here goes to Fnatic for their smart focusing, which completely messed up the fight for Mineski. Succeeding this situation, when Fnatic finds an Invis rune bottom, they come up with a sweet play. EE, I assume, crawls into Abed's bomb or something, and with the Invis rune, they gank Mirana at their top tower. Moon goes for a bit of a cheeky play here with a TP when instead he could have juked some more with his 3 leap charges, but I think it's safe to say that he's pretty dead here. Later, Mineski seem a bit uncoordinated as they get picked off one by one in different locations, but they try to pull themselves together and go for a Mirana ulti. They find Tusk with it. And Dire is now trying to retreat. Radiant find Nakes though, and EE deals quite some damage to Jabs, but he plays very not greedy here. Wait, how do you say not greedy? Is there even a word for this? Anyway, he crawls up Quap's bomb again and she escorts him to safety. Next up, we see both teams regrouping and Mineski try to attack Fnatic's bottom tier 1. Do you remember what we said earlier about how Disruptor can initiate on Mirana? Well, that's what happens here. But Ninja Boogie does a very nice play here by reacting quickly with Global Silence. This prevents Quap and EE to blink in and secure the kill on Mirana, therefore allowing her to leap back. Next, Abed makes a big mistake by not realizing he's affected by Last Word, resulting in him blinking in only to be silenced. Mineski rapidly shift their focus on him, and with the help of a nice arrow, I mean be honest, on a scale of 1 to nice, this arrow was very nice, kill Abed. At the end of the day, big blunder by Fnatic, losing 3 heroes and a tower for nothing, and a truly nice performance by Ninja Boogie. Here Mushi is trying to get 4 runes. You know how sweet this is. Now come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh man, I hate when that shit happens. Anyway, I want to stress 3 things here. First of all, I want to say that Ninja Boogie is a very nice name, just saying it feels great. Secondly, note how EternalEnvy goes for a quick MKB. I think this is not only because he wants to kill PA, but also because buying MKB feels pretty great in 7.07 as it gives both attack damage and attack speed, and even adds some true damage to your auto attack. And thirdly, pay attention to how true sight is going to be an extremely important factor throughout the rest of this game. Here we see Abed being greedy and wanting to snatch this root. He's ice frogged by a PA here, nice hero man. But remember one thing here, where there's an OS frog, there's a PogChamp. Ohio saves his buddy with Snowball, who by the way just ran away after his death earlier, but he turns around to fight. Tiny tries to get behind Fnatic's lines, but Fnatic have vision, allowing Envy to dodge Tiny's spells, which are completely whiffed as a result. Even though Fnatic don't manage to kill the Tiny, he has to retreat from the fight, betraying his teammates who all die as a result. Ninja Boogie gets a lucky TP out, but Ice makes up for it by dying in Dire's jungle for no reason. Next, Fnatic try to get Rush, but they are scouted by Rocket. I think they're scared here to be clumped up against Tiny, so they just retreat. Mineski continue using Scan and Rockets to track Fnatic's movement, and check this out. They wait out the Tusk sigil duration so that Fnatic won't have vision anymore, and then instantly go on Rush to sneakily kill him before Fnatic even notice. Envy then announces the rush timer for everyone in the game. Why he does this I don't know, but maybe it's reverse psychology or something, but he does it. Thanks to their amazing vision, Fnatic find an easy kill here. This shows again that vision is super key. It really makes me wonder why pub players are always so offended when they have to buy vision. It's vision, damn it, it wins games. You should happily buy this shit. Anyway, Fnatic wins this fight pretty easily because Envy hits like a large anime truck. After both teams farm for a while, there's another clash brewing up. And again, Fnatic, thanks to their amazing vision, are able to detect Mineski so that they can regroup as Ogre is getting focused down. Now lock your eyes on this clock and notice how his Blade Mail has a huge impact on this fight. He's basically like a brick wall in Fnatic's front lines, since both Nakes and Quap are unable to deal damage now. At the end of the day though, Abed gets a tasty triple kill. The fight recap shows a pretty even result here. Mineski gained more XP, but Fnatic gained a lot more gold and XP on Quap, bringing him closer to his level 25. Mineski have also used the BKB charge on Mushi, which is why in my opinion Fnatic came out ahead in this fight. Shortly after, Ohio acquires an Axe on Tusk. Let's see what this little bugger is up to with this item, eh? Right now both teams are just farming for a while. Abed gets a very fast level 25 at 37 minutes here and goes for the Fear on Scream. Quap's level 25 is definitely one of the more scarier ones literally, as he now has CC, which makes the enemy run away in fear. I also like how Fnatic dedicate quite some farm to their supports here, allowing DJ to finish his Forstaff and also starting to work towards his own Aghanim Scepter. Now at 40 more minutes, Mineski once again managed to kill Rush very quickly before Fnatic are able to respond. Don't forget that as of 7.07, second Rush now has cheese, which is very scary for Fnatic, so they just avoid fights for the next 10 minutes, even giving up a tier 2 tower in the process. Something I like about Fnatic is that they always try to be one step ahead. See how they're kind of staying near Radiant team here? That's because they know Aegis is about to expire. Now when it does expire, they try to rush down PA, but unfortunately Ohio blinks right into an arrow, who is killed and then buybacks. Fnatic try to focus down Mirana, but they only force her cheese. Now a couple minutes later, it looks like Mineski are preparing a push here and oh! Ohio with a sudden blink virus kick kicks PA into Dire's base, and now he's like choo! you're not going anywhere. Maybe I should do like the Tusk voice here, but super good initiation for Fnatic. And again, clutch rage usage here by Envy, dodging the cogs, which was important because PA only barely died here. PA dies, Mirana dies, and Mineski commit a big blunder here. And in one sweep, they lose their barracks, they lose map control, they lose their gold lead, and Fnatic even get Roshan. Envy also gets 25 on Nyx, which means he's gonna have an 8-second BKB in every fight. And that's all thanks to the virus kick, so pretty good, huh? It's looking dull for Mineski, but they try their best to maybe turn it around. See here. Clock goes in on Disruptor, who is forced by Paradise. Buyback TP by Tiny initiates the fight. As he arrives, Disruptor glimpses him and he's weirdly sent to the mid lane by OS Frog seemingly, but actually it makes sense because that's where he died originally. I think Ohio didn't realize that DJ would glimpse him though, because he goes in on Mineski's backline, which would be good if his team had somebody to attack, but Tiny is now in the mid lane and Clock is pretty safe behind his cogs. As a result, Tusk is killed without buyback and Fnatic have to retreat. It's certainly a bad outcome for Fnatic, but not game losing, as Mineski would have to push against 4 heroes still, while not having a lane of racks. Let's look at the final situation of this game. Disruptor, who now has Aghanims, catches PA in Static Storm, and Envy is able to focus her down without much issue. Now see this. This is the first time in the game where Fnatic don't have True Sight, which allows Clock to focus Disruptor, who will die due to Urn, but Isodice just kind of sacrifices him anyway, and maybe he's just like happy to throw things around, cause here he also throws his tree at Ogre to get the kill. Now you might think, hey, this looks pretty good for Mineski. Well, prepare to see the most anticlimactic ending to a game ever. Mineski is waiting for Rush here, and Mushi, who has just bought back on the PA, just decides to go scout this Dire cliff, where they have no vision of any of Dire's heroes whatsoever. Envy finds him of course, and Mushi responds by first blocking himself with his own illusions, and then not using Blink Strike or Abyssal Blade, which would all save him, but he doesn't use it. He dies without buyback and on a 120-second death timer. Frankly, that's just game over. As an outsider, it might be easy to just say, look, there's the mistake, this is why they lost. But honestly, I think it's pretty clear that Mushi simply fucked this up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on him, the guy's a legend, just recently having won PGL and getting 4th in tier 6, but I think he himself wouldn't want to put this game on his portfolio. Fnatic now have all the time in the world to get Rush, regroup, push bot and top. Yeah, there's another fight, but long story short, Fnatic win the game. I think this game demonstrates how important dust and sentries are, with DJ and Paradise having bought 40 sentries and multiple dusts in this game. 40. And also, it shows that you always have to be cautious of making huge mistakes. In the end, it's still Fnatic's team play and coordination that got them this far, however, so let's all clap our hands for them. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this format. I'm definitely looking to make more of this content, and the best way you can let me know, of course, is by pressing the thumbs up button. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next time.